Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to 3Ps.
Welcome back.
We are still in Florida. I mean, not when...
By the time this comes out, we're not.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not, but it's so fun that we get to film 2 episodes in a row in Florida.
Exactly,
Yeah.
in person.
And we're just Tanner every time.
Exactly.
I'm feeling like so relaxed and so just... My Oura ring yesterday said... Because I had a 91 for my readiness score.
Oh, so good.
Or no, I think I had like an 88 for readiness and a 91 for sleep. And normally I'm at like a maybe an 80 on a good day. And like for sleep, I'm always in like the 70s or like high 60s because I like don't get a lot. Like I just... It's a stressful job.
Yep.
Don't sleep as much. Like I got such good sleep. And so it'll say like, what do you think the reason for this is? And then you can click like, it'll come up with options. It'll be like nap or like whatever. So I put vacation and then it like popped up and said 4% or people on vacation show signs of like 4% less stress or something like that. And I was like,
so we're never going home.
so so this is where we belong.
To stay. That's for sure.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah.
So we're just going to get a content house in a warmer weather and
Gosh.
do that all the time.
That's what we need. But anyways, yeah. So we don't really have like we don't really have our weekly recap this time because we're filming back-to-back days.
Yep.
But
Yeah, we can kind of talk about what we are doing this week.
yeah, we're headed
we're heading back and then
back tomorrow. Mm-hmm.
Hank's got by this time next week, Hank is aced his first training class, and I'm hosting Bible study, and then I have a friend's wedding. A very busy week when I come back.
Yeah, you really do.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like, am I ready for it?
No, I'm not.
That's also
I have to make
kind of the
meatballs,
worst when
yeah.
you come back off a vacation is like jumping right back into a busy week.
Yep.
So
Luckily, Charlie's gone from work, so I can just kind of like plug in and do work. Like,
Yep.
because like it's
Just,
really
like, do some
fun. It's really
editing.
fun when he's there.
Yeah.
We can shoot and stuff. But like, I just need to like
Get some
clock
things
in.
done.
I need to clock in.
Yeah.
Totally.
So it'll be nice, and it's Memorial Day weekend, so we'll have that Monday the next week off. And
That's great.
are you
Yeah.
doing anything for Memorial Day? I know you have a wedding, but
I have a wedding on Sunday, and then I think we might go to a Brewers game on that Monday. So
oh, really fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
Love.
because Abby's in town, so yeah, we'll have like
really fun.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm a little bummed because like I feel like those big like Labor Day, Memorial Day,
I
4th of July, like those are
know.
holiday weekends. Like
Yeah.
you're on the boat, long weekend cabin, or like up north, like in
yeah,
Minnesota,
or at your
but-
parents' place.
But it is what it is, and
I
I'm
know.
back soon enough.
Exactly. Is Brewers baseball?
Yeah,
I really want to go to a Twins game.
you
Yeah.
should. It's so fun.
I know, and I got a
I
cute
don't like baseball,
jersey.
but I
No,
go.
no,
I
for
go to
the
like one a
vibes.
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. I actually like I like baseball until like maybe the 5th inning. Like I just like hit the certain inning and I'm like, all right, I'm over it.
Well, that's why you don't go right when it starts. You tailgate.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's the cool thing about
That's
Milwaukee
true.
is that the bunch of bars participate in like a trolley system. So like, I guess
Fun.
it's not trolley, but like I can't think of the other word, the shuttles. And so if you're like with a participating bar, like you can get a drink there that gives you a wristband for the bus, and then it gives you. You just have to hit one of the buses like that goes with your bar and it'll bring you to the game. You don't have to worry about driving out there because AmFam Field isn't like downtown. It's like it's kind of weird. It's just like by itself.
Yeah.
So
That's nice though.
so
Yeah.
nice, so nice.
Like that's the one thing about the Minnesota sports like stadiums. They're all downtown Minneapolis.
So nice.
Well, it's really nice, but also for tailgating, it's not. Like
Right.
Like our football stadium, like you look at, I think it might be the Chiefs, or maybe it's Lambeau, but it's like just parking lots of tailgates
That's
all
Lambeau
around
too,
it.
yeah.
And we just do not have that because it's like right in downtown Minneapolis.
True. I
So
didn't think of that.
that's the only thing that's like a little less fun is I feel like when they're kind of like out there, then it's like even when I was in Dallas, they have their baseball stadium and their football stadium like right. It's like their own little village,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it's really cool. They
That's
have like
fun.
a huge like Texas Live like restaurants and stuff. It's like
That's cool.
when you go for a sporting event, they have like everything. So
That's fun.
That's super fun though.
It is fun.
That's very summer.
I feel like also with like Minnesota is one of those teams that you like that is a tailgate team where like Chicago Bears, they're also in the heart of the city. So it's
Right.
like you don't get to tailgate as well, but I don't see like in my head Bears like Chicago, I don't see
Right.
that as like a tailgate, but like Minnesota feels like it should be a tailgate.
I know.
Like
I
the
agree.
U of M does like really good tailgates.
Yes.
I feel like
Mhm.
like that's
Better.
more like where I would think if I wanted to do like a tailgate.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed.
But like we'll tailgate everything in Wisconsin.
I love that about
Any
Wisconsin.
chance to drink at 10 a.m., please. Like, amazing.
That'd be so fun to come for like a Vikings game
Oh, yeah, if they ever
in
play.
Oh,
Lambeau.
yeah.
They will. I mean, they do every single year. They play
Yeah,
at
at
Lambeau.
Lambeau.
We just need to.
Okay.
It's gonna be expensive.
I think
but
we
it'd be-
actually got tickets offered through work to go to that game, but I couldn't. It was
Yeah.
like New Year's Day.
It was that last year.
Yeah. So I didn't, like, we got
Right.
like I got offered, I could have gone, but.
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
if
I
you
was in
get offered
Minnesota.
again,
I'll let you know.
Speaking of like fun games, Ty's mom just texted us last week and was like asking if we want to go to Pittsburgh and was like, do you want to do like Green Bay versus the Steelers like game in
fun.
Pittsburgh? Which so it's like that'd be super fun
because we can't do the
well we like
the-
could. I mean we
turns
can go to
out
Ireland.
I know, it just
Update,
it's
it is
different.
true. The Viking.
The Viking, the Vikings play the Steelers in Ireland. So I mean, if we want to like full send and get there, but
The other thing too, the draft is also in Pittsburgh. We were right, or we were
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we had to
well,
like
so
circle
maybe
back
it's
on
that
things.
that we go to,
You could, yeah,
or you guys just come with us.
yeah, I'd do that.
I'm like, Lisa, can the besties come too? But no, anyways. So,
Yeah.
but I was like, that'd be a fun game. And then I was thinking of you because it's like Green Bay versus.
Yeah, I wear Packers stuff.
Lisa's husband is a really big fan of
The Packers.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
a Packers
funny.
fan. So, yeah. Anyways, on a tangent.
What
but
about you guys? What's like on the docket when you come back from Florida?
I have small group on Wednesday, and then Friday I have my cookbook club, and we
Ooh.
skipped April because everybody was so busy.
Totes.
So
Oh,
and
fun.
we're doing like a grill out,
Fun.
and we're doing smash burgers actually.
Oh.
Which is great.
Where, like, what cookbook did you go out of for that?
It's our half baked harvest again. She has a
Okay.
smash burgers recipe.
That seems like so off-brand for her cookbooks, but I,
know.
love that.
Yeah, and
Which one is it in? Is it in the like simple,
it's what you have.
easy one? Oh,
But Tyler
have
already
the
makes like the
cookbook.
best smash burgers. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't.
Yeah, he
need
does make really
He doesn't
good.
need no recipe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have that, and then our friend Cassie is running a 10K
yes.
on Saturday
Yep.
morning. So I'm gonna go try and watch that.
Fun.
Yeah, for
Nice.
Memorial Day.
Yeah. I know.
Stunning.
I want to go to that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same. Like I have a chill day Wednesday when I go back, which is nice. Just like nothing going on, so I love that. And then we have Ty's best friend is getting married this weekend now, or like.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess when
It's
they
Monday,
hear this,
or
I
it's
don't
Monday,
know.
so yeah, it's this weekend.
Yeah, but when they hear this,
It will have
already
already
happened.
happened, yeah.
So, anyways, but we have a rehearsal dinner, and then on Thursday, and then their wedding is on Friday, and then we're gonna head up to the cabin Saturday morning because we always like Ty's family has like we call it the Cove, and like all the neighbors come up. It's like 4 cabins in a row. Like we've just made, or Ty's dad was like really intentional and just made like really good friendships with everyone next door. So now like everybody comes up, and then we do like, I don't know, a potluck, and we do, I think they said we're doing like a pancake breakfast one of the mornings, which is
Fun.
new this year. Because
Fun.
Ty's dad spent the winter, or like this spring, he was tapping trees on this, like, I don't know if I told you guys that, but they bought
No.
like a piece of land now that's like
Oh, cool.
right next to, it's like down the road from their cabin.
great.
Because like the cabin isn't like on a bunch of land. Like it's kind of just like the cabin. So his dad just like, he wanted to be able to like bring the side by side, whatever. So, and like they wanted to ski on their own land and whatever. So they bought like a little chunk of land, and so he like tapped a bunch of the trees. So they made maple syrup.
Oh my
so
gosh, fun.
I think that's the purpose of it, is that they're like, let's do a
Let's try
pancake breakfast because
Rich's
Rich
syrup.
made so many,
That's
so
awesome.
much syrup. So that's exciting. So now we'll have like a big pancake breakfast gathering, and then also we do like a potluck, and it's kind of like a kickoff of the summer. So
Oh, fun.
yeah, and then it'll be fun because, like, I mean, yeah, with school and stuff, we don't have school Monday then. So, yeah. And then by the time that, like, this episode does come out, I think I'll have, like, literally one more day of school left. So, and then it's summer for me.
praise.
So, yeah, I'm really excited for the next, like, 2 weeks and kicking off, like, Memorial Day weekend in my school year feels like just, like, the entry into summer. So it's just, like, the best. So, yeah, I'm excited. And then just to enjoy one more day here. We have like a half day tomorrow. So yeah, a little more relaxed. I'm gonna try to like finish one more book, or like at least get a good chunk of the way through. I've
I
been
haven't
in my
even
reading
finished my
rut.
book here, and I'm like
Okay, yeah.
embarrassed.
I did finish my book, but I was really
Ooh, today.
far. Yeah.
I know, but like I'm just, for some reason, I cannot lock in,
Okay, that makes sense.
and I'm
Yeah.
like jealous of your book, and like I just want to like.
Wait, which one? Oh, the one she just started.
Abby Jimenez,
Abby
like the
Jimenez,
main
yeah.
character, the author described as Rhysand from Avatar, which like
You're like, okay.
what?
Wait, what are you reading again?
it's Midnight Library, and I'm really like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just chucking through it, and I feel bad because like Mary Rogers, shout out, she like loves that book. My mom loved it, and for some reason I just cannot lock in. It's a good book. It's well written. It's quick. The chapters are quick, but for
Is
some
it just
reason,
like the premise of it, like the plot?
I think I'm just like mentally, my brain is like so scattered right now. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, I just cannot think deeper because it's about parallel universes, which is like,
No.
it doesn't talk about it too
Would
much.
you ever take a break from it and like come back
No,
after?
I need to
okay.
finish it. Like,
okay.
it needs to be done so I can move on to the next.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just like,
Not there. That's how I felt about we don't need to get into much of the book talk, but Throne of Glass series.
Yeah, which
I
is
was
such
on
a
like the
bummer.
second one, and then I started the third and was just kind of like, I just like couldn't lock in, and so I think I have to just restart like
Lock
probably
in
the
show.
entire thing because
Yeah.
I can't even remember what happened in the first two. So, or I need to like spark note the first two and then
well,
jump
also
into
if
the
you
third.
pick up
So
like, we don't have to talk about books for so long, but
Yeah.
like fantasy too, like it's really hard to take a break from a fantasy series because there is so much world building. So if you're in that world,
Yeah.
don't leave. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I did that with Avatar, I think, and I was regretted
I think I
it
had to because of our
or-
book club
yeah.
book, and then like
Yep.
I think the fall was just tough. So I just and then I just am finding I cannot read during the school year. Like I come home exhausted, and I'm like I do
fair.
not want to like read a book. So, anyways, enough book talk. But
Yeah.
all
I love
right,
it.
shall we dive into the topic?
Let's dive into the
Today-
topic.
Aaron's easy topic
I
today.
know.
Josie and I.
Well, yeah. Today we're talking about dating and like I would say / singleness.
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll speak to it. I'll speak to pre-Tyler.
Well, totally. And you have like a good, I feel like a good perspective.
And
Like,
you're also,
coming
like,
from.
But
best
also,
friends
it's like
or
I'm
something.
like
I
as
know.
an outsider, like
Yes.
watching you guys date. Like I'm just like,
No, you're involved in this.
I, like,
Ellie.
don't wish
you're
it
with
upon
us in the
anybody.
trenches.
but you guys are handling it. You guys like,
Yeah,
you guys handle it so
No,
good.
I
So
have some nice things to say about you too. So when it comes to it,
So we're in the thick of it, and yeah, how do
we're
we
just gonna
get
see where the
started?
conversation leads us. Yeah.
we're just gonna really
Don't
go for it.
Comment
today.
anything because we're being vulnerable. Okay.
I know.
Yeah. No, but do comment. You're like dating horror stories or whatever. It is funny because we're in this together. I will say to start it off, like
Okay.
I think I saw a TikTok about it. Women's dating experiences versus men. Like if you ask any woman in like their mid 20s, like we are, or like 30s, if they're like on the apps, people are like, "How's the dating going?" Whatever, and women are like, "Oh God, this is awful. Get me out of here. I hate it." Like whatever, and then you ask a man, and they're like, "It's going."
Or they're just not
because-
dating. Like if I've learned anything from my brother this weekend, I'm like, and I don't think that he's the only guy like that. Like my brother, we were talking about dating yesterday, which is kind of why we decided to do this topic today because we're like, oh, we have a lot to say on this, I think.
Yeah.
But my brother's here with us in Florida, and like he's 25. He's 2 years younger, so he's 25. And like he's like not on the apps, and he's not like really dating. Like I think he's just kind of like seeing where life takes him, and like
Yep.
if he met someone like cool, but like he's not actively. But I just don't think he's the only guy who's just really not doing anything about it.
No, like I remember when I first got to Milwaukee, we were talking with all of our friends, like all the girls were like, "This is awful, like we hate it, whatever." And then we were talking to our guy friends on our kickball team, and we were like, "Yeah, we're single too." And I was like, "Are you on the apps?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Why?"
No, I always say that to Josie. I'm just like, there are probably so many men that you guys just don't even like know are out there.
Yeah,
Right.
And they're probably like really nice and normal and
Yeah.
cute, and they're just not. They're just
Yeah.
not out there.
Yeah,
Which is
anyways.
like, I actually saw something too, and I don't think this is fully true, but it did make me think that like the type of guys that are like, why the apps are so horrible for women is because the type of guy that's on there is the one that is like very passive, like doesn't like, they want it to be like a kind of like transaction, like swipe, yes, message, never actually ask you on a date, wants to be your pen pal.
maybe that's why I should get off Bumble because Bumble
No,
is
like-
women lead.
Don't
Seriously,
get off
and
Bumble,
it's not-
Bumble though, because I feel like a lot of my people who are married and
Yeah.
met on a dating app met on Bumble. So I'm like, we can't.
Wait, what were you saying though? 'Cause
Yeah.
we both were like,
Sorry.
No. That's okay. It's not that's not true for everybody on the apps because we
Totally.
have a very good
Yeah.
handful of friends that met amazing guys on the apps, and I just think in
But they're like
2025,
rare. Enigma.
like
Yeah.
a while ago, it was like the golden age of the apps, and
Why did we miss the bus?
we missed it. Like, because
I
now
honestly
it's
feel like maybe
full of-
after COVID too, like did people did,
Yes, like,
did
are they
people just kind of
just
get
social
off?
skills?
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's really like it's not meant to be something where it's like you're talking for that long. Like go like this is supposed to like help you meet in person.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've just been thinking about that because like truly the apps are right now, and I do not remember it being like that earlier. Like they are actually. They're so bad. People joke about it, like they're horrible, whatever. I'm like, it's no joke.
No,
It's not funny.
it's not funny.
And when
They're
you're
crazy.
in the same city, the pool of people on there is so small.
No, and it's like 3 years later, like, oh my gosh, like Brad's still here, or like whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's just like
We
Chad,
actually,
Brad,
yeah.
lad. Like I'm like, no way. So
We actually had friends like when we were getting together one time, and one of our friends was like telling us, and it was like one of Josie's, like we all know and love Josie's friend, but like not in our immediate friend group. So like wouldn't
yeah.
have any connection to like our other friend who's in our like college friend group.
Yes.
So, but we all like know each other and like our friends kind of. But so it's like one of your friends starts talking about how she's really excited about this guy.
Right.
And she's like, I'm so excited. We've been on this many dates and like
Yep.
this is his name and like whatever. And then our other friend was sitting next to me and she was like, oh my God, like I think I'm like seeing the same person.
no, had seen, but like was seen, like just recently ended it. Like there was
oh,
overlap.
Yeah, but there was
Yeah.
overlap.
And he wasn't a good guy.
No, but and he had like told your friend that they were like exclusive, but he was like
that's what I was
seeing.
gonna say.
Yes.
that's what I was gonna be like. Because just because like you're dating,
No.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
like if that's an offense, I'm a serious offender.
No,
because
yeah.
not like that.
No,
like,
you gotta go on
multiple
dates if you're
like,
not
saying
if you
that
haven't
you're-
defined it, like you're good. But it was like, and I think your friend had been seeing this guy for like almost like I feel like it was like 4 or 5 months or
they still
something.
together?
No. And
Drag him.
then
What's his
our
name
friend,
today?
Seriously, watch
no,
out.
but then like our friend had seen him for like a month, like, or not like a full month, but like a couple times within that month, and it overlapped. And they were even like putting together all of a sudden, like, so glad that like our friend from college, like, she spoke up and was like, oh my gosh, like I think I'm seeing, and they like put it together. And then your friend was so great about it, but like they
Yeah,
were
she's
putting
the best.
together that he like bailed on your friend to like go on a
crazy.
date with our friend because it was like Cinco de Mayo or something, and he had told our friend like let's go get Mexican, like, and he had plans with your friend, but then like she had messages of him being like something came up, I can't, and like he was
man.
with our friend. It was horrible.
It was
And
insane. It was, like, literally
and then
out of a movie.
Luckily, like girl code, like it was
Yeah,
amazing, and
they
they
were
like
great.
teamed up and they like I don't
was
know, they like
cute.
messaged him and they were just like. Like what were you doing on Cinco de Mayo? Like that you were
Yeah.
whatever. So,
Yeah, or, like,
but it's just
yeah.
atrocious. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, the pool is so small that like, and not to mention that like both those friends are looking for like Christian men, so that like
It just was,
Yes,
eliminates
like-
the pool. Like the pool is smaller then too.
I know, and there's like the memes on TikTok of like it's like somebody that's like 40 and it's like figuring out my dating goals. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, no.
that's crazy.
No.
Yeah.
So it's the Wild West out there for sure, and that's why
Yeah.
I don't participate anymore.
Yeah,
But-
so just for comfort, if you guys haven't caught up by now, Josie and I are single.
Almost spits out her coffee.
And so
Yes.
we've both had our fair share of like being on various different apps. Like, or have you been on just Hinge?
no, I've been on Bumble.
Yeah. So like, we've tried other apps. I've like, it is what it is. That's people say that's the way to meet people. I'm like, I got a dog, so I could go on the dog park to go meet people. Like, I'm like, I
I know,
will
we
do
gotta figure something else out.
literally anything. But I think like the main takeaway is just kind of like you have to go in. Like maybe we do like the biggest do's and don'ts of dating or like our mindset, because I think
Yeah.
it's really kind of going off of last episode. Like you have to be a whole one in order to do 1 + 1 = 2. Because if you're like a 3/4 of yourself, it's 1 + 3/4 is not equal 2, right? Like you can't.
Yeah, right.
You can't do that. So I think there have been times where I've approached dating and I'm like, I'm so ready, I'm so mentally there, and I fully was not. And like, you have to just be in the right mindset. And also, like, something I got told, or I've heard multiple times on a podcast, is I think girls, generally speaking, are much more ready to change who they are in order to make the person like them, and overlook, like, do I even like that person? Like, I think, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like, guys just show up and they're like,
I can agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think girls are so much more mental of like, well, he says he really likes rock climbing girls, so maybe I'll try rock climbing out. And he says he's like really active. Like I could, you
we're more willing to like shape ourselves to fit their lives instead of being like, do they fit into mine though?
Right.
Like
you don't reverse it. And it's not to say you can't adopt something that they're into.
Yeah, they might introduce you to something that you're like, oh, I actually really like this. So like, that's not to knock that, but
like,
yeah.
and I've been at fault to this too. Like I've been like, oh, they said they want like this type of person. You can adjust a little bit, but at the end of the day, like I think some girls, I've noticed this with like my girlfriends, like they just kind of overlook. Well, do you even like Joe Schmo? And like,
Right.
does he even fit the things that you want?
Yeah, yesterday
know?
my aunt was asking like good questions about dating too, and just making good points, and like, I don't know. I feel like she was just talking about like, oh, thinking about like, what do you have in common? Do you actually like? Is there things that you actually connect on, or is this just like a guy in front of you that's like
giving you attention and whatever?
Yeah, no, it's like good to think about, and like, I don't know. Yeah, I think what you're saying, because it is like sometimes we can. I don't know. Like I wasn't just like shape-shift.
No,
yeah.
truly. It's just like I think too. There's a lot of things on socials where I think people have also overdone ick culture and like red flags. I think there's.
Ugh.
I
I
like
agree with
if
that.
there's really big red flags and like something super alarming and you guys do not align like to your soul, like your moral, like if you're someone that's like me where I'm looking for a Christian, probably not going to swipe right on an atheist or someone that's like actually very much against.
Well,
That's like one of my pillars of what I'm looking for. Or if it's a politics thing for you, or if it's like a, I don't know, like maybe someone has kids and you don't want kids, like don't waste the time.
Yeah.
Don't waste their time. Don't waste your time if you're never wanting to do that.
I also think that with like the early stages of dating, I think like we have this like warped view of what that should look like. It's like you read about it, you see it in movies that it's like this first date, and then you're like, this is perfect, and that's like great if that was like your experience. But I have a friend too that was saying that has been going on like dates with people, coffee dates, whatever, like first dates. And then the person will be like, I didn't feel a spark. And she's like, well, me neither. But like, you're a stranger and we got coffee at 9 a.m. on a Saturday. Like,
it takes
let's
a few dates
give
to
each
really
other
see,
a couple times to like warm up to each other.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like such a good point too. And like, I don't think people like get it that like it, and sometimes it is. So it's different. Everybody's story is different. So you just can't compare. And like, so I feel like that like frustrates me sometimes too.
I think also too, and Josie, I don't know if I can speak for you here, but because I have not dated or had like a serious boyfriend, but I've been on actually like a lot of dates over the last few years, like, I would say because I don't have that experience of something getting serious or whatever. Yeah. Like I'm really quick to call it off. Like I'm pretty cutthroat. Like if I don't feel the spark, like I'm one of those people too. It can be really quick to call it off. And I think like now my new rule is like don't call it off. I mean, I don't know. It's tough because I have called off. Like,
you will know though. Like I think that it's different. Of like you will. Like you'll find the conversation intriguing.
Yes.
Like you'll be like, oh, interested in this person, and I like would like to see them again. It just like the romantic side of it. I don't think that is like that has to like be there like right away on a first date.
Yeah,
and it can be, but I it's not like if you didn't enjoy your time, that's very different.
And if you're looking at them and you're not like a little remotely attracted,
100%.
Yeah, like
that's so
like,
different. Yes, there are situations where it's like this will not go somewhere.
Yeah,
but if there's even like a little inkling of like this might, like I could see this.
Yeah,
I think one of our friends had said, or like when we've talked about dating, just literally like, did you enjoy your time with them? Like that's all you need to know. Like you don't need to be head over heels in love. You don't need to be like, if you have the ick, like maybe give it one more try and just see if it was like a first date thing or something. But like then it's like, okay, but did you enjoy your time? Like would you talk to them again?
Right.
Yeah, were you just even a little bit intrigued about like their life or like something they said? And if you are, like just go on a second date. Chances are people are also really nervous on like the first date.
Yeah, totally. For sure.
But I like what you said though too, because I'm just thinking back to like before Ty and I started dating, I'd gone on a date like with a guy, whatever, like a random guy that I had met, and we were like, I just remember Josie being like, he's not a believer, and like so like okay. And I was like, well, like, you never know, like, whatever. And I went, and we were like in the car for like literally 10 minutes. Like, he had just picked me up.
Yep.
We're like on the way to dinner, and he's like talking about church and how his mom, he's like, my mom volunteers like at this church or whatever. And I was like, oh, like, so cool. And I was like, do you go to church? Like, like it just came up right immediately. And he literally is like, he's like, oh no, like, I hate church. And I was like, okay. And I was like, I have to do the rest of this date, like, knowing that like this probably won't, like, this isn't going anywhere. So I don't know. So, but it's important to like clock those things too, and just be like, well, I'm not going to waste his time, because like, I do go to a church on a Sunday. So it's like, I'm not gonna, like, if you hate church and I'm like, I go, like, then
it's just not,
I'm not gonna like force you to go with me.
There are some
like,
things that I would say, like, I don't know, because I'm not married. Compromise is a part of marriage and like any relationship. There are some things that, like, okay, if he likes a certain type of music, that's not the end of the world, right? Like, whatever.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
Like,
I'm just kidding.
Or like, well, all that type of stuff. But there are, like, gray area is a part of life. Like, that is life. But there also are, like, I would say to anybody that's like really discouraged and is like, okay, do I start like refining my standards? No. Never do that. Like, because standards are a good thing. And like, also, I just wholeheartedly believe like you are going to find someone that meets that. And unless it's like unrealistic standards where like they have to be 6'5", a billionaire, and like own a hedge fund.
No, exactly.
Those are like, that would be great. Like, I'm not mad about that. I would love that. But at the same time, like, that's, you need to be open to like the unexpected things. I think like,
yes, you have to, you have to.
Well, I told Josie, like, if she ever dates anybody and then like comes to me saying it happens when you least expect it, I'll wring her neck. Like, but it's true. Like, it's literally true.
I know. It is like, you have to have standards, but they do have to be realistic of like, I want somebody that shares the same faith as me, and like those standards are very, very important, and you want to be treated well and all of that. And then there are the things that are a little bit more superficial that like,
can you overlook it?
And like, if you probably should, like, there are
well, because I think what you were saying earlier of like TV shows and movies like really make these like relationships just seem like perfect, and I'm just like, no, like in real life, like they can be like, you'll go on dates or like meet people, and it's like they can be really romantic or like treat you really well, but like nothing's gonna be as like perfect as you see in like a movie. And it's like, it's
scripted. Life's not scripted.
Well, and when I was in college, I took an intimate relationships class, and they talk about how like every person has like 70% of them you're gonna like love and like be like, they're so awesome, but like every single person you'll meet has 30% of them, and like you have 30% of you that like you're, the person might not like love about you, but it's like, can you overlook that 30%, or like is what's in that 30% so big of a deal that like it's just a deal breaker and it's gonna like frustrate you forever? So it's like, when you think about your person, it's like, okay, what are their, you know, quirks or like things that you're just like, this bugs me, but is it like, and it's like, don't just, again, have standards. So don't just like overlook things that are big, but like, if it's that they like squeeze their toothpaste instead of roll it, like, can you live with that? Can you just get two separate toothpaste? Like, you know,
for sure. I was going to say too, one thing that I thought of earlier was just the pressure of like dating as a Christian though too, like talking about standards and stuff, because I will say it gives me a little bit of like anxiety in dating. And it's just, I think I don't know, just being a part of like different Christian communities in college and like all of that, there's like this like 3 dates you should know if you're gonna marry them, and you have to be dating, and you like, it's like these like unreal, like crazy things that like,
and it might have worked for some people,
right? And again,
and great,
everybody's story is different, but I think growing up I've had to like unlearn that.
There's
a little
like the
bit,
Ring by
like,
Spring.
Like crazy. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, just like the fast pace, like you can take your time, figure it out. One of my friends in small group was like, do you like spending time with them? If you want to see them again, that's all you need to know. See them again. Like, that's all you have to know.
Yeah. And you don't need to know like, oh, after 6 months, like I'm going to get engaged, or like,
no, oh my gosh.
I mean, it's like, you should always, I think if you're dating with like a purpose of like, okay, I'm trying to find my purpose, or person. Not trying to waste somebody's time. Like, it is just like, you should probably be evaluating, like,
Exactly.
am I still having fun?
Yep.
Do I see this going somewhere? Or like, are there things popping up after 6 months or a year that you're like,
Right.
like, I don't
Trust
know
your
that
gut.
aligns, but like, you don't need to like go on the 3 dates and be like, well, met my husband. Like, and for some people you do know, some people have that instant, like,
Yeah.
or they're just like very excited about it or whatever. But
Going back to
Totally.
the standards thing before I forget, every time that I've been discouraged of like, because I'm also Christian dating and I have like things that I'm looking for. Every time I've been discouraged of like, well, maybe he's not out there, or like maybe I'll just like, okay, maybe this person isn't necessarily Christian, but they could, like, I've been on multiple dates with people that like that aren't Christian at all, and I'm like, well, maybe they just haven't met the right. Maybe they haven't been to the right church. Maybe they haven't, whatever. I'll whatever. Every time it's ended poorly. Like every single time that I've fudged on the standards. And that's just a gentle reminder from God to be like, don't. Like, I have someone planned for you. And I really, truly believe that. And also, too, like, I just know that, like, at the end, at my wedding or when I'm married, like, down the road, like, I'm going to be able to look back and be like, thank God I didn't do that, because it's only going to make me like spend more time being stressed about that. And this is like, obviously for us, we're Christians. We talk about our faith every week. This could be the same for anybody regarding something else. Like, it doesn't don't diminish your standards, because it's only going to get bigger. And say it's a political thing and you really don't think you could be with someone different ideology. If you're okay with it now, it's only going to get worse later. Like, this is a core thing in your life. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, make sure that you're
only going to
aligned.
get bigger.
Totally. Things get like,
You're not going to change, and you shouldn't change. Like, I think it's a silly thing to kind of do that. But the pressure of being like Christian dating or dating with intention versus like the apps also at a time had like hookup culture. So it's like,
totally.
Which
Which app is for serious, which app is not, and then they get all mixed up and they change, and it's like,
that's so hard.
It's just like, you
and
gotta
also
really
it's just like a very superficial, like, thinking about the apps
the worst.
as a whole. First of all, like, Hinge, people have put out studies that Hinge like literally makes the people that you see, quote unquote, be like out of your league, below you, so that you feel like you need to pay for the standouts, which is actually where you're supposed to be. It's mental warfare. You are literally making yourself feel like you're ugly or you're undesirable, and you're like, this is my crop, and you're like, it's incredible and horrible that like they have algorithms that like,
it's insane.
That do that to people.
They're a company. They need to make a profit. They need you to buy.
Right. It's like meant to be deleted. I'm like,
Yeah, I've deleted you multiple times.
I know.
Hinge is the app to be deleted. Yeah, I delete and download you
Yeah.
multiple times because you are like breaking my
you're making
spirit.
me wanna
Like,
die.
you are literally.
you seriously breaks you down.
Awful.
I know. So
Yeah.
I just, Do we want to talk about singleness a little bit? Like,
Yeah, we
of just
can.
like how, I don't,
Like,
we don't
I think
have
you
to.
should. I think you should talk about, like, you mentioned like feeling discouraged, or like you were just at your Christian singles night and like that went awful for you. And like,
Let me just say, a while ago I went to a Christian singles night. It was the worst thing I've ever been to. And it was because they're talking about singleness as if like you have, like, there's something wrong. And like, I just don't look at it that way. And I was going to say, like, I feel like we're so lucky because Aaron and Tyler like include us really well.
we include Tyler.
Yeah.
yeah, it's the other way around.
No, but like,
No,
they're
just
so
kidding.
good about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I never ever feel, and all of my friends do a really good job with their husbands of like, our friends never do anything that's like just couples or like anything like that. I never feel left out. I always feel included. I never feel less than. I'm the same as all of my friends, which is like because I am like, it's just,
Yeah,
so,
I feel like we've even seen people on TikTok or whatever being just like, what do you do when your friends get married off and you're not? Because like life just changes, and I feel like you've been like, I
What?
don't feel like that. Yeah,
right, like
but
you just stay the
so
same.
we're lucky in that maybe, but I don't know how
that's just a testament. Like, I'm so grateful for you
yeah.
and for Tyler, like, and our friends.
Cute.
Yeah, it's really sweet. But yeah, no, that like, I just.
But they
feel
talk about it like it's this like
I feel like
thing.
I have such a full life. I love my friends. I love my life, and I am excited to like add somebody to that at some point.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, it was just like,
You're not like down in the trenches because you're single. Like you're not just like
No, and
wallowing in your singleness.
No,
Like,
and I do think it's important to also have single friends. Like I love that like me and Coco can relate on that, and like some of my other friends too, and that's also a blessing.
Yeah.
And but that was crazy.
No, I think it's so funny because I told you guys the story about my Nona.
Yeah.
And I don't need to
Yes.
get into the whole thing, but God bless her, and I love you, Nona, because I know you'll watch. But I just think like our parents' generation, or maybe the generation before, also too, like in the Bible, like marriage is like one of the most like great, like what I don't even know how I would describe it. Like it's a
unifying
thing, and it's like it's like that is like
whatever,
seen as like the end goal for especially women in the biblical times, right? Like if you were by yourself and you were like a spinster, like it just like literally like it just wasn't
Right, that was
Although
culture.
the Bible also talks about though how singleness is like
100%.
a blessing, and it actually says somewhere in there that it's like better than marriage, doesn't
Yes.
it?
Yeah,
Where-
Paul was like, it's better to be single than it is to be married, unless like you can't control yourself. So it's like all the married people, like you're a little weaker.
You're weak. No. But so all that to say is that like I just think the generations beforehand, like especially like now that we are working women and all that type of stuff, like I think you weren't seen as whole until you were married. And like
Yeah.
my Nona made a funny thing that like I wasn't established, and I was like, girl, it's a long story, but basically like she just didn't see it.
she said you're mostly established.
She said, I
but,
was like, she told my brother that he needed to support my job because he's established. And I was like, oh, and I'm not. And she goes, well, you're almost established. And I was like, girl, I've been working at the same job for 5 years. I have like
You
a
dog,
full-on life. I have
yeah.
a community. And so we talked about it a lot. But I just think like,
Yeah.
I think that's where people, and not just Nona, I love you, girl, but like, a lot of people look at like you're not fully arrived until,
or it's like, oh, I feel so bad, like they're single, or
yeah, and
something
it's
like,
like
that.
there's
Don't
no,
feel bad
I
for
don't
me.
wake up every day and go, another day, another single day.
No.
And like it's just, I think that's the importance
I
of
can't
like,
like imagine.
no, like imagine me getting up and doing that. I'm like, I get up and I'm like, whoa, let's go. Like I just don't think like that.
You gotta be a mom every day.
No, literally, I'm a single mom. Like, let's go. But I just think like that when you're looking at it that way, first of all, you will never, no person in this world will ever fill the God-sized hole that's in your heart. So if you are like looking around and you don't have like the Holy Spirit in you, and you're like, I need someone to make me feel worthy, that someone is Jesus, period. And like, when you feel whole is when you're able to go and like meet other people and be a nice additive to your life. And so I have just like been called picky by my family, and like
I know.
like I have like they just
Right.
are like always like, oh, she's just too like she's just thinking too high in the pie in the sky. And I'm like, don't you want to have your future family member to be?
Sorry. You just keep saying high pie in the
I don't even know if that's right. But like you, don't you want your future in-law to be like awesome?
For sure.
Right?
I know. I do think too for us though, because we are very similar, that it's like it's such a balance of like because we do feel so comfortable, and we do have such a like we are so just like we are established.
Yeah.
That like I think for us it actually is a little hard sometimes to like be vulnerable and like actually let somebody in though too.
Yeah.
So I struggle with that balance a lot. It's
Yeah.
like this like thing because everything you're saying like yep. And
Totally.
don't lower your standards and all of that.
No.
But then it's like when somebody does come along, you're like,
Oh
like
my
you do
gosh.
have to like let yourself like be vulnerable too, which
Yeah.
is like crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just think like if anybody's like feeling like, okay, maybe it's time to refine my standards, don't.
It's not.
That's the main thing. Don't.
not time.
And just like keep doing like I think the other thing too is that anybody that's like actively wanting a relationship but not doing anything about it, I also think that that's a bad thing.
100%.
You need to be on the apps, or you need to be going out to singles events, or you need to be going you need to be putting yourself out there. It's not going to just fall in your lap. You're not going to be in your apartment on your Tuesday night watching your favorite show, whatever. Whatever. If you do that every single night and you're like, why hasn't it found me? Well, you're hiding in your apartment. That's why.
Exactly.
I
That's
also
why.
think like I was thinking about that earlier of just like it's so cheesy, but like if they wanted to, they would.
It's
and
so
I think
true.
like
It's so true.
if they like you just shouldn't be confused in dating.
No.
Because I feel like like pre-Tyler, I feel like there's plenty of people that I would like go on a date with and be like, I'm not sure where they stand, or like, was that even a date or was it not? Like, and I just don't think it should be confusing. Like, it's a little confusing to navigate like your feelings, and that's just always like, you're kind of like, it might be just like in your head of like, is this my person? Is it not? Or
you
like,
can be confused by yourself, but don't be confused by them.
It should be clear that they're like taking you on a date, or it should be clear that they're like interested in you. You shouldn't have to be like in your head being like, I'm trying to read their signals and like figure out if they're into me, or like, what did this thing that they said, like, did that mean something? Like, there should be none of that. Like, it should just be clear.
And also too, sorry, but it was actually a sweet thing that my brother said to me. I remember like I was just talking about like dates and stuff, and it just like the laid back thing, the idea of like guys just kind of wanting it like in their lap and they don't have to do anything about it, and they're kind of complacent. And I was telling my brother about like a guy that I was talking to or something, and he just was like, you have the right to be pursued, like you deserve to be pursued.
Yes.
And I think that like, especially you and I are both confident, funny, like extroverted people. I think like a lot of times when people look at me, like, I don't want to speak for you too, like speak up if it is, but they expect me to kind of be the one to like lead and plan. Yeah. And I just don't want that. And I don't think, I think there's like maybe it's like antiquated for me to say, but like I deserve to, like Lauren said, I deserve to be pursued. And I think that's like, that's okay to say. And for some reason, being like a strong independent woman,
so true.
It's hard to accept that sometimes.
I know.
It's really difficult because you're like, wait, but I'm usually the planner and I'm all this stuff. But like, if you don't do that, like, yes, I want to be the person that is like strong and lead and all that type of stuff. But at the same time, that internal like feminine part of me, I'm like, wait, I want to be pursued and I deserve to do that. And so I think it's just hard.
Especially when you do it in every other aspect of your life. Like, I don't want to do it in my relationship.
Yes.
I don't.
Period.
Yeah, and I think there's a balance though too, where it's like it'll shift over to like you're sharing in that. But I think like when you first start dating somebody, it's like let them plan, like let them, like if you want to be pursued, then let them pursue. Like but then also like it'll shift where it's like you got to pursue back and be like, let me like I'll, I don't know.
We're just talking about this yesterday, I was talking to you in November.
Yeah,
like we'll call him Larry. Like Larry. Like. It was like pulling teeth to get Larry to like hang out with me.
Yeah, and it's like you shouldn't have to beg them to hang out. Like,
and like when we were hanging out, it was great. But I'm like, what's it going to be like down the road if this is date 2 or 3, and I'm the one begging you to make time for me? And
Ty's dad always says that to us. Like he's always just like, how they are when they're dating is like. Not that they'll get like worse, but he's like, that's probably as good as you're gonna get. Like as the years go on and you get busier, and if you desire like kids or even just like we have 2 dogs and like we don't have kids yet, but like adding 2 dogs to our lives is like just another thing to worry about, like chaotic. And it's like you're gonna have like less and less time. And like you have to really be intentional about making that time. And so it's like Ty's dad is like, if they're not doing it now, like they're not going to do it 5 years down the road. They're not just going to start planning romantic dates 5 years later if they weren't out of the gate. Like, I don't know.
And yeah, that's like, I feel like in marriage, then it becomes it's like more of like this, you know, like you have, like you've been pursued, like you are married. And it's this like, you know, mutual
joint partnership,
like,
ownership.
And like you, like, you'll do something nice for Tyler. Tyler will do something nice for you. Like that kind of stuff.
You're always constantly serving the other person.
Exactly. It's just like this constant. So that's a great point too.
But like in the beginning, you deserve to be pursued. 100%.
Yeah.
And I was like, Larry, what are you doing?
Don't.
You hate Larry.
I do.
Well, and like, I feel like even just like the extra, like the text or whatever that like, I feel like you would.
Oh my God.
Like, and it's not to your. Like this isn't to like crap on you, but like you would like send one extra text, or you would be like, maybe if I just like hint that I want, and it's like, no, you shouldn't have to like hint that you want him to take you on a date.
Larry's the worst.
He should just want to take you on a date.
I like literally. He blamed it on me being busy. Like, I think this is another thing too. We're very busy people.
Yes.
And like our lives are incredibly full. And so like, but even after like our first date, he like made the comment, like it took forever to, first of all, my number one ick, I have to bring it up. And I'm going to stick by this ick, and it's fair. Do not be my pen pal. I have enough friends and enough people to communicate with. If pen pal meaning like if we are talking on the apps and then we take it over to texting and we're texting for a full week before we even get a date, and you're asking me like all the things that we're going to talk about or could talk about on first date,
ask me on a date.
What is wrong with you?
I always say that, like,
Yes.
I feel like
literally,
there's been a
like-
couple guys that you've messaged to, like, in the past, and
Yeah.
like I'll be like, are they still just texting you? Like, I'm like, if
I
they
don't
thought you
care
were
about
cute,
your life, and you sure as crap
Yeah.
shouldn't care about mine.
That's what
And
I'm
I'm
saying.
like-
And the
and they're
apps
like-
make
You don't
them
know me.
passive.
You don't know me.
It's
Yeah.
easier to just like text somebody.
I'm not gonna
like,
tell you how my day is because I don't even know you.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and it's like,
no.
don't text me 24/7. That, like, when I
Yes.
mean, like, yeah, when I was, it would still be an ick if I was single. Like, I think it's a fair ick because I
Yeah.
think the same thing. Like, I remember, like when I was dating Ty, we would like text at like the end of the day. Like, he would be like, "How's your day?" And I was like, "Okay, thank you," because like I want you to check in, but also like don't text me all day long being like, "What's up?" Like, what are you doing now? Like, it's
Totally.
like, no, I'm busy. I'm
Yeah.
working.
Totally.
You should probably, like, aren't you working? Like, it was just gonna
Get
ick
a
for me.
job.
Like, I'm like, I don't need you to be
Literally.
texting me all the time. I love the like end of the day check
I
in.
love that too.
See how my day was, or like, okay, casually text throughout the day, but not
Yeah.
like boom,
If
boom,
you
boom,
see
boom,
something
boom,
that
like-
reminds you of me,
yeah, like
or whatever,
yeah, like,
like
something funny you talked about on your date, like send me that, like
yeah, or like
but
a
it's
song
like,
or so, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
that, like little stuff. But don't like even then. That's just like save it for when we're together. Also, one last thing. I keep on saying one last thing. Our really sweet friend Maria, I remember like there was another guy I was talking to last year, and I just was kind of like, what is going on? And we'll call him Clark.
these names I cannot. Clark Griswold.
And so, but I remember just telling Maria about it, and I was like, I don't know, I really like it seems nice. We have a natural spark, da 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 da. And she, if you're a believer, this is a really good transformative way that it's made me think about it. She's like, pray before your dates, one, and two, she's like, if this is it, like, Lord bless it. If not, let it end quickly. And it ended so quickly.
Fast,
And
yeah.
I've had a recent prayer to God too about like, give me clarity, and He gave me clarity hard. Like in dating. This is not like too lowbrow for God to deal with. Like, this is the person that you're going to end up with. It is like literally in His exact
Yes.
realm.
And then
of
you
what
know it's
should
like
pray
for sure. Like, you're like, oh, I
Duh.
literally asked for this,
Yeah.
and here it is.
So do that. That's what would be my
Yeah.
advice.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that advice.
There's so much more we could
There's
say.
so much more, and we should do an episode 2 on like marriage. I'm sure there's lots of girls
yeah,
that
we
are
could do one
listening
on
that
marriage.
are
We could probably do one on just
married.
like crazy stories from dating. Like, there's just so much you could.
You have a lot. I have like one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a few. So there's
have
there's
friends
so
on or
many
something,
there's just
right?
so many avenues you can go down with this. So if I don't
We
know
could have
if
friends
y'all
submit
like this
stories and
episode,
we-
we can always what.
Read it out. We could have friends like submit like crazy dating stories. We could read it
Yeah.
for
Oh my
them.
gosh, that'd be a fun episode. Or like just you guys, like listeners,
Yes.
submit crazy stories. That'd be fun to like
Yeah.
read them and talk about.
Totally.
Oh my gosh. Okay. There's so many avenues. So maybe we'll do a part 2 someday on this
Yes.
topic. I'm
Maybe,
sure we
yeah.
will. So
Yeah.
for our pop culture today, I don't even want to call it pop culture because it's just awful.
It is awful.
But Idaho Murders, me and Josie had like this case has had a hold around us since the day it happened. Like we
Yes.
became obsessed with it. We have a group message with one of Tyler's, like us two,
And
one
Tyler's
of
friend.
Tyler's friends because we're like all Jonah.
Yeah.
We're like all
Just you two and Jonah?
yeah, it's called Idaho Murders, and we like talk about
What?
And Jonah's like he follows like analytical type stuff really well, like
Yeah.
that. So like literally the other day I was texting him being like, "What's the update?" Because I'm not really comprehending. And
Exactly.
he like sent me. He's like, "Here's some articles explaining." Like he's like,
Oh my
on top of
gosh,
it.
that's so fun. I did not know that.
No,
That's
Yeah,
it's
no,
so
we're
funny.
like super invested.
So-
Obviously, it's like I'm
It's
not going to go
tragic.
into the like
The gory
actual thing
details.
'cause
Well,
it's
also it happened
freaky,
like
but
wasn't it when we were in
3
Idaho?
years ago
No,
or
no,
4
I was
years
in
ago.
Dallas. So it was like it was that year we went to Idaho.
Yeah, so
We-
like the Idaho murders happened right before we went to Stanley.
It happened like 6 months before. Yeah.
Yeah, and we did not like it's not the same
It's
area,
not in the same
but
area,
like
yeah.
And so they have a suspect, and finally, what is this? 3 years later?
Well, hang
they're-
on. For context, if people do not know about it, 4 college students were murdered brutally in their sleep.
Yeah.
By this alleged guy, Brian Koberger.
Yes.
His DNA was like on a knife sheath that was like left behind in the home.
Yeah.
But it was really a crazy thing. Like we won't get into the gore.
No,
but like,
it's not
It was
worth
very
it.
brutal. Like if you look up the details of it, and
awful.
it was
Random.
very random. Like he wasn't even a student at their college. He was like much older. He was a grad student, much older than them. But he was like studying forensics, which is creepy.
Yeah.
Like so.
Wasn't there 2 roommates that like weren't killed?
Yes,
Yes.
2 of the roommates had survived and were like home during the attack and actually like saw him. But like to be fair, like there's a lot of speculation on like they're guilty, but also I'm just like they were probably in shock. Also, all of these kids were super drunk, like they were all out partying.
Yep.
So like I think they thought that like there was some stuff that came out a few months ago that like they thought that their roommates were just being like silly and like we're all dressed in black and like, but then they also were scared. So it like very, but like they released the phone call of the 911 that was like a couple months ago, and it's really like. It's very really traumatic. Like you can tell that they're like frantically like they're passing the phone to all these
really
people.
Weird. It's just really weird because the roommate like she saw him like he walked past her door and then like people were like.
No, but there's texts I think where they were like, Xana, like, what are you doing? Like they thought that like she was, like,
are you know, like the roommate was. I mean,
and they were all rowdy partiers, like, and like.
Wait, so did he see them in their room?
Yeah, he saw. Well, I don't think he saw. I don't think he saw her. I think she like. I think it was like she saw him.
She saw enough to see his eyebrows. So like I don't know how you don't like people are speculating that like that's the weird part of this is like people were saying he was like too tired to kill somebody else. Yeah, which is insane.
But he did it all in I think it was either 13 or 16 minutes. And people were like, one, do you know how much effort it takes to just kill one person? Because like there was proven like fighting back, like they didn't just like he didn't just go in and like kill them. There was like
it's bad. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
And so anyway, this roommate, but then she did not call 911 like that night.
No, they called
waited
like
till
next
the morning
at like 9 a.m. or
that's
something.
why there's just like this weird stuff with the roommate, but it can always be explained by just like
Shock.
trauma and shock
Yeah,
and like you're scared for your life. But she had her door locked. So like then like after she saw him like she like opened her door. I think she saw him and then she like went in and locked her door and then was like, yeah. So it's just crazy. But all of this is now coming up again because the trial is this summer. And then apparently his defense has provided like another suspect. They're like, no, it's actually this person, and
that person's just been out there living.
Yeah,
right. So,
well,
but
in the
then
beginning,
it's like, are they just trying to pin it on somebody else? Yeah. There's so many things of like his car. I think there's like cameras of his car. There's like the location pin of his car. He like fled the state of Idaho.
The location of his phone
happened.
pinged outside their house before it, and then he turned it off. Like he turned off his phone, and then it pinged like at 9 a.m. Like he came back. Like they were like he came back to the house. Also, like there's Google searches in his stuff of like Idaho Murder, like after like that morning, even like almost as if he was like searching for the article, like to is like was there news yet of it?
Oh my god!
And like just like creepy selfies out there like that he posted.
Yeah, it's
like,
just like
Jonah
weird.
sent us this and he like took this picture. He's on the left, and it was like a selfie he took like the morning after it happened. Like it's just like,
but there's just it's so much keeps coming out, and it's just like.
But when he got arrested, there was stuff where he was like, "Was anyone else arrested?" And I'm like, why would he ask that? So it like kind of makes sense to me that they're naming a second person now. But it's like, is this strategic? Like he's naming it now so that it can like prolong it, because it's been 3 years and they're finally just starting the trial, like in June or July.
What were you gonna say? The roommate
saw like Brian in a lineup, and she was like, I can't tell if that was him or not.
She just knew Bushy.
She just knew Bushy.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like, so it easily could be him, and she just couldn't for sure identify. But like, I'm like, was there somebody else? Like, just creepy, freaky. Just not. It's
but
not
the major
good.
news is that he like name dropped a second suspect, and so now everyone's in a tizzy of like, is somebody still out there? Could this be true? It also really if you're like into true crime, like insanely gory details came out about like the actual murders, and like they are saying one thing that's like crazy is that they're saying like I think based on the forensics is showing that the kids were killed all at the same time. So like there's no way he could have been like upstairs in this room and downstairs in this room, like doing it all so close. Like it would have showed, like forensics are just like that's been something weird from the beginning. So it like makes sense that he would be dropping like a second suspect. Yeah. But it's just like, why are you doing that now?
But why are you doing that? Because it's really weird. So,
but like they did find very convicting stuff. Like they had gone through his like because he fled Idaho and like went home because it was right before Thanksgiving.
Drove through Minnesota.
Yeah, he drove through Minnesota.
I think, or maybe that was like a route, but he didn't take that one or something.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
I'd have to look.
His family's
Virginia.
on the East Coast, though.
Virginia's coming to my mind, but like he drove home for the holidays and was there, and like police had found like materials in the garbage. Like there's convicting evidence of like himself for sure. So that's good that they like most likely have the right guy. But now he's like naming a second suspect. So I was just gonna look at like what Jonah said too, but he was just like this article is super helpful. It's super creepy though.
Yeah, so I didn't read it because
I didn't read it either.
Case seriously changed me. I lock my bedroom door every single night, and apparently that's a fire hazard. Like apparently, if there was like a fire, like the firefighters need to be able to get into your room. I don't know what's but it just has actually freaked me out. I think about it truly all the time.
Really?
Yes, I think about it all the time. Like it has like rewired my brain.
I do too. Like when Ty's gone, I lock the door too.
To your room?
Yeah.
Like
and I check my closet.
Yeah, I check under. I seriously like.
Yo, I leave my like doors open. Like,
And I know. If Emma Teal is not home, sometimes I will sleep at Aaron and Tyler's
because of that.
Like I'm a generally like kind of like scared person. I'm scared easily. I've never recovered and came back from this case, truly. And like their sliding door, they think is like where he came in from. So like you best bet if we have a sliding door anywhere, I'm like checking that there's like a wood stopper in the back. Like all doors are locked. Like it's not right. It's not right. So anyway, we will maybe
keep y'all updated on this case. Yeah. It does say, I'm just like scrolling through. It does say that they have until May 23rd to gather evidence of a second suspect, which is
it's already passed.
No,
it's not.
It's May 19th today.
Yeah.
So
we're on vacation time, baby.
Yeah.
I don't know where I am.
That's
but anyway,
Friday.
so they have like until
by the time this comes out,
clock in.
they will have
all the information
tried to dictate what they're going to do with that info. So yeah, really crazy. So keep y'all updated. That's like a really sad, gory type of thing to end on, but we have been following it really closely.
Yeah,
and it's just like a crazy and super sad. So I just hope that like justice is brought and like these poor families, like this has been dragged on for 3 years. Like I just can't imagine. So
our society is crazy that like something like this can happen, and then
but
it's
they
like
had
they have to be
like the public was so in this that like I don't even know if they can try him in Idaho because it's like so biased probably. Like I don't know where you're gonna find an unbiased jury. Like
I know
or
it's
a judge.
crazy.
So really insane. But
all right, should we?
Anyways, yeah.
Move on to positive. Our praises.
What are we thankful for?
I feel like again, just this trip and like time together. My praise for like the following week will probably be time up north and just that summer. I think by the time we record our next podcast, I will be in summer. I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but potentially I'll be like done with my school year. So at least by the time it comes out, I think I'll have like a PD day left and it's only a half day. So,
So nice.
yeah. Or it's like a half day and then you have to go home and grade. So it's like, but it's a chill like end to the year. So I'm going to be like in summer mode officially. So that will be my praise, I think.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, probably say Memorial Day weekend, like love a long weekend, spending time with friends outside, doing cookbook club, eating burgers. Like it's the best.
I mean, like praise for I can't even think about anything else. We're here. Like,
yeah, it's
honestly,
just that's what our praise is.
You know what it is? I have been ever since I've gotten Hank. I have not like slept like the way that I do, and I'm just exhausted. And so this trip, I've just been able to get like genuine rest.
Yeah, we've slept great.
Slept like
We've like slept by the pool.
We've slept by the pool.
Slept good at night.
We have good beds here. Like Aaron's, if
Lots of,
Aaron's
like, beach
readiness score
walks.
shows you anything, like
We are
that's all of us are
well-rested.
just feeling well rested. So praise for that, because I've been like literally having my Bible study pray for it. Like my first time I broke down at Bible study and cried was because I was like lack of sleep and I was crying about Hank's like poop issues. So like we've come a long
real.
way. We've come a long way.
We
But
really
yeah,
have.
so just like rest.
Good.
The Lord for rest.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, 3 episodes in a row, y'all have seen us, and then catch
Back
us
to
on the next
virtual.
time back to virtual. But we'll be. I feel like off and on through the
Yeah.
summer we'll be back in person, so
Totes.
it'll be
Totes.
fun. But
Yep.
all right,
Perfect.
love y'all. See ya. I feel like I just keep being like, see ya in 2 weeks, but like we will still see you weekly. So
Yeah.
Treat this like as if
as if it's a normal epi.
See you
In my
next
mind,
week.
I can't comprehend, but we will see you next week.
all right, bye.